Okay, got a little bit of a cold, so that's why I sound the way I do. But just caught a big fat mole. This is the end result of my technique, which I will show you in the daylight tomorrow. I just checked my traps and I caught one. So when it's daylight tomorrow, I'll show you how to the technique I use to catch a big fat mole. That's what a mole looks like. That's a pretty big one for southeastern Virginia. Alright folks, the key to catching moles is you need a lot of traps. So you see I've got a trap there set up. I had one back here, but I caught one just a few days ago. That one's set up. I got one there. And these were set up actually about, what, 4 days ago or so. And there was fresh tunnels when I set them up. But it rained hard the last few days. So I probably need to reassess the tunnel situation and maybe move some of the traps. Got a trap there. So that's the secret. You have to have, that's the main secret. You want to put out, if you have a mole problem, don't just get one trap or two. You want to get like 10 traps and stick them all over the place. I had one back there. That's the one I caught. Got another one. There's one over here. I got set up. That one hadn't caught one yet. But the more traps you put out, the greater your chances are catching. I also put these little flags out to help me remember where the traps are, because they're black. But these are the traps I like and use. They're called Victor out of sight mole traps. And I got a dozen of them when I got them. Well, I first got one just to make sure how they worked and all, and then I wasn't catching. I've tried different ones, but I found these are the best. They're the hardest to set, but they work the best as far as if you want to catch moles, these will catch them. All right, see this? This is the classic raised area right here, going under the fence. So watch what happens when I clear this away. There should be a tunnel. Yep, nice big tunnel. There's a nice big tunnel going this way and this way. So perfect. That's a fresh one. So I'm gonna put a trap right there, and we're gonna catch us a mole. Okay, so these are the traps, the best traps to use. The Victor out of sight, I believe is what they're called, traps. So they're hard to set. You gotta have a little bit of strength to do it. But you're gonna take it like this, and this thing is gonna just flip that over like that. And you got your little tongs. Okay. Take the tongs, stick them like that. And make sure this thing goes in the middle of that. You don't want it on one side, you want it in the middle, like that. And then you want to apply pressure, open it up, grab it like that, and immediately the first thing you want to do is put the safety on, like that. And that way you can release it, and it's not going anywhere. It's not going to snap, it's not going to close. See? I can put it down like that, it's not going to close. So I've got the safety on. Then you go ahead and set the trap. Now I've seen videos before, some people are like, oh, you got to put this on the way little edge like that, or you got to put it on the edge. You don't got to do that. Just put it dead in the center all the way down. It's going to go off if you place it properly. So we're going to go over here to my little area. Now, here's my little hole. It's going up under the fence. Now I guarantee you this is gonna catch. So what I do is I scrape away the mulch, and then, so this is my little placeholder, little piece of wood. That's the direction of the tunnel. So I'm gonna push down to cave his little tunnel in, like that, okay? Then this is gonna go directly over the tunnel. And you're just gonna push down like that, okay? Now you want to get you might have to lift up a little bit, get it in place and get that bar on the mechanism there. So when he pushes it up, the dirt up, the mold, that's gonna make that spring. So that's in place. It's in a good position. You don't want it too high, you don't want it too low. Right about like that. And then you take the tongs out, and the last step is you take the safety off. And I guarantee you this trap will catch a mole within the next 24 to 48 hours. So we'll put a little pink flag by it. So we'll be checking this in about 24, 48 hours, and I guarantee that's going to catch one. And it's a nice, clean, fresh tunnel, recently dug, and it's right by fences. They love to be, they love to make their little tunnels near fences. It's a good place to catch them. So we'll check back tomorrow and see if we got us a mole. All right, one more thing I wanted to say. Some people say you should wear gloves when you're punching into the holes, because the moles will smell. Otherwise, the moles will smell your scent and be turned away, and they won't go down the tunnel. I say that's bull crap, because I used to wear gloves and thought it was helping, and then all of a sudden I said, no, this is too much trouble, too much expense. Quit wearing the gloves, and I caught more moles after I stopped using the gloves. So don't listen to people that say you need to wear gloves. Okay, the moles don't care about your scent. They're going to go down that tunnel no matter what. So just that's one thing to keep in mind. But like I say, the more traps you buy, the more chances you have to catch the moles. So ideally you want to buy at least 8 traps and spread them out. If you got a lot of tunnels in your yard, it's hard to find like a main tunnel. A lot of times there's all these squiggly tunnels everywhere, and they use some and some they don't use. So the more traps you put out, the more percentage chance you're going to catch one. I remember when I first started trying to catch moles, I just had one trap, and I'd see a tunnel and I'd set the trap up and I'd check it every few days, didn't catch nothing. Then I'd move the trap somewhere else and I'd move it to another fresh place, and that's all I was doing was moving the trap around and wasn't catching anything. Then I bought a second one, sort of doing the same thing, and then I broke down and bought a dozen traps, and when I did that, that's when I started catching them left and right. Because you set them up at every little tunnel you can find, you're going to eventually start catching something. Most likely a mole, if it's a mole trap. Alright? So that's a tip to keep in mind. Big tip. Anything else you can think of? Speak.
The flags were nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the flags too. Yeah, if you want to put
Just
the little
marker
flags to mark them,
flags.
because the traps are black. Just those traps, you got to be careful with those Victor out of sight traps, because that safety. I know one time, one of them closed on my pinky right here, and it didn't break my finger, but it was very, very painful. And ever since that one time that happened, I've been very careful to make sure. First thing I do is when I clamp it, put that safety on. Even if you forget to take the safety off after you've set the trap, that's okay. Just make sure you set that safety as soon as you clamp it together. That way you don't have to worry about getting hurt. Alright?
Okay, here we are, and it's only been like a few hours, maybe 3, and it's sprung, and I'm scared to death to lift the thing up because there's going to be a thing on the end of it. Oh God. Okay. Oh. Ooh. Get back, cat. There it is. Ooh, he's wiggling. It's still alive. Shoot. Isn't that just the most adorable face you ever saw? Look, it's alive. Okay. No, I don't know how to get it off. What you think, Legolas? You want to play with him? Oh my god. Alrighty. Legolas says, hot diggity a toy. And it wiggles.